So what I have here is a big ash blank. Let's double check this. It's 340 mil diameter. That's almost 13.5 inches diameter, and the thickness is 50 mil. That's 2 inches. So we're going to make nice wide rim. I think I'll go for a wide rim platter, so it should be quite interesting. And here is the back side. Still have a bark here, which I'll try to remove it if it's loose. So as always, first step is to mount this on the lathe. So I have here a Wickmark 3-in-1 screw chuck with the spacer here. That's 10 mil spacer, plywood spacer, and I have the wood here, the screws are exposed roughly ½ inch or 12 mil. So I'll just feed this on slowly to save time on hand thread this on. So just lock the spindle and tighten it up a little bit more. Now the major important thing when you turn stuff like this, quite big diameter, you have to make sure that you don't have any splits in. So that's what I did. The first thing that I took a little slice off the end grain in the slab, and I bend it and double check that there is no splits or anything like that. Now there could be some on the here beneath the bark, but we'll see about those when we remove the bark itself. So to rough this down, I'll use a ½ inch spindle gouge, slowly increase the speed. That's now running at 10,050 RPM. So I'll just remove the bark here first. So as you probably saw, it's a really dusty ash, it's kiln dry. So I'll just turn on the dust extractor to remove some of this dust from the bark here. So you see here I still have a little bit more bark left, so I'll remove that first. Still a little bit more. Diameter is nice and clean, and after removing the bark, I'll clean up the top as well. Okay, that's bark gone, and I don't see any splits, which is super nice. Spindle gouge. I'll use just the left of the point and drag towards myself. Now what I can do is use scraper to finesse this, make it slightly concave. This will have slightly narrower foot. And I need a recess. I don't have a big jaws to grab, let's say, a foot. So the recess, and this is square and scraper. one point, then you roll it to another point. And this one needs sharpening as well. So fresh burr on. Okay, that should be plenty deep. With a skew, I'll just undercut for the dovetail jaws. Get nice clean corner in there. And as always, I always want to do something with this waste wood here. So small spindle gouge, 10 mil. Just double checking if the camera is rolling. And bigger bead here. Maybe just slight dome. And for that I'll use square and scraper. Nice and gently. To get the best surface. Back to small spindle gouge. To get this nicely shaped. Just see how this is working. Now you can see the portion here that I scraped is much better because it's at an angle a little bit, so I still have to clean up this big bead, and there is a chunk missing here, so okay, that's at least feeling much better. There we go. Now I can shear scrape to get a better scrape here. No, that's much better. Again, spindle gouge. Didn't close the gouge here properly, so I gouged this area, which is not good. And using skew side, get this nice little round over the bottom here, where the jaws will expand. That's all nice, quite sandable surface. So what I think here in terms of foot, I don't want a very large foot because this is again sort of a platter, so it doesn't have to have a very big foot, but somewhere around here I think will look okay. Yeah, and I'd have enough room to make nice big Odie here, so let's go for that. So I want to rough the foot in. Doesn't have to be very large foot. There we go. Okay, so this is a nice little trick that I saw from Jimmy Clues to make a nice perfect Odie. So you divide this surface into 3 sections, so into thirds, so that will be 1. I think I'm quite close, doesn't have to be perfect. So now I'm going to leave myself roughly 4 or 5 mil here at the top, from the top. Now all I want to do now for this stage first is from this point to that reference line here, make a straight line. And the easiest way to do that is, again, you can use a spindle gouge to rub this down. So this will probably upset some of the safety police out there, because you saw the benefit of using overhand grip like this, where I deflect the shavings so they don't fly into my face. Now, yes, I don't wear a face shield, and again, I'm responsible for my own safety. You are responsible for your own safety, but nevertheless, I think it's a good practice once you get the hang of it. Yeah, as you see here, every bit of shavings hit my belly instead of my face. So again, it's a sort of a professional turner's habit, but again, works for me. And if you're not comfortable using like that, then by all means use something else. Now, as we established this straight line, now what I want to do is have a little bit of curve here. So if I place a ruler here, this is almost straight up to this line and this line here. So introduce, let's say, 6 mil or 5 mil depth here, nice flowing curve inside. So the easiest way to do this, again, I saw this from Jimmy Clues and it works so beautifully on any other piece as well, is go against the grain and we'll smooth out the grain and the cut after for the last cut, let's say. And now I'm using a bow gouge. One more cut. So this looks okay, and here the depth is, or the center here is roughly 6 mil or 5 mil, something like that. Now what you want to do, the next stage, is just divide this in half from this to this reference line or the edge, and just split it in half. And I think Jimmy Clues refers this as an inflation point or something like that. So all you have to do now is from this edge here, blend the curve up to this point here. Again, using a bow gouge. And that's perfect, Odie. And just to show you here at the horizon, hope you can see here behind the black or dark background, nice perfect flowing curve, and works on any diameter, on any shape, size, so it's a really nice technique. Which I found this works for me best is scraper. You can use a bow gouge if you want as a shear scraper. So here from the corner I'll use it flat to move away from the corner, and now I can tilt it up on its side. Use it as a shear scraper. And I'm just squeezing my hand around. Have a little bit better control that way. And let's see, the surface here should be pretty good. And it's perfect. That won't need much sanding. A little rougher here, so I'll go one more time and I'll actually roll the burr here, so it's a nice fresh burr and a really strong burr, which in this case will work for me the best. The way I like to put the burr on after I use this one from the grinder is I hone the top of the scraper, remove any remnants of the old burr. What I have here is a burnisher that I made in a video as well. I have it, and it's an old gouge that I had. And what I like to do is I place it flat on the scraper, give it a few rubs back and forth. What that does is extend the burr or metal front here. And now just find the bevel, raise it up slightly, and just move it across a little bit. And I always go upward like this, never against or down, let's say. Hope that makes sense. You don't have to do this to get a really big burr, because the bigger it is, it's more grabbier. And so you have to do this sort of a few times to get the feel for the best kind of burr. And hopefully you can see a little bit of difference in color. This is completely dry wood, so it's not wet, so it does not dry out like this. So you can see a major difference in color and how this burr performs as well. Okay, that feels super nice now. Let's see. Yeah, that's ready for sanding, or you don't have to sand it at all. Now this foot, maybe a smidge less height, and again just double check that I'm sitting and I am only on the rim here. So just clean that up a little bit. I'll use a spindle gouge, smaller one, just to clean up diameter here. I think a square foot like this will work the best here. Again, shear scraper just to get into this corner, and again, like I said, just bring this foot down a little bit. Again, light touch. As my mentor likes to say, you stroke the wood, you don't scrape the paint of the door. So it's a great analogy. And I can improve it by tilting it up on its side. There we go. And just a little brush here to remove the sharp edge. So that's ready for sanding. Show you the whole surface. There we go. So that's looking really lovely. 180 grit. What I have here, this is a little sample bowl that I did to test out how this ash worked. And now I used here a little bit of linseed oil and wax finish, and from the rag that I had, and you can see hopefully the yellowish effect on it. Now I don't mind that. I like ash because of this. However, even better, what I like, and we used to do this quite a bit, and not with this product, but a little bit different technique. This is sort of a bleached out effect on ash. Now you can use some sort of a white color as well, but in this case what I'll use, this is Creative Colors from Odie's, and this is their standard universal oil, and that works quite well. And I have actually another product from Steiner, which is white oil, which also gives you sort of this effect, maybe a little bit differently, but this works really nice, and it's really maybe a shade lighter than its original color, and that's what I really like. So not sure how this works on the camera, but that's what I'm going to do now. So I already have a little batch here from that test piece, so I'll use it a little bit more now. This did a little crumped up a little bit here, but it's not terrible, and I did try it with this and it didn't like gum up or anything like that, so I'll just use a little bit more, although this is really small amount goes a really long way. So, and these have a lot of different colors. Now I'm not sponsored by them. They did send this to me a while back, but I never got to use it or never got the chance. And just mix the oil here. and I'll put a little bit of here, and this is quite convenient, a little cup that I did that didn't work out to be finished product, so there we go. That's, I think, good enough. Now just mix it, and that's it. We'll apply it. I'll just apply it, and I'm using Scotch Brite pad because I can get it really thin and really rub it in the grain. So I don't have too much grooves here, so I think it won't settle in, or it shouldn't at least. Now, at this point it does look a little bit dramatic change, but it won't be once we get all of the oil out. Okay, so I'll let it sit down for a few minutes. Now I have here a paper towel, and I just use it to buff away any excess. So let's see how it looks. Just get it off these nooks and crannies. Just see how it looks before I polish it a little bit further. Well, it doesn't look too bad. Ash is open pore wood, so I did expect so it will fill in the grain, as you can see here. So maybe in other situation I might use darker color of pigment, so you'll have sort of a, you know, like a white and then let's say dark in the grain, so should be quite nice contrast. So just buff it off with the rag. Okay, that's looking really nice. Hopefully you can see that, how it emphasizes the open pore grain in this ash. So this is now just standard oil, and this will mix in with white pigment as well now on the lathe and tone down the contrast between the two. So I'll just a little bit. And again, I'll wipe off the excess. Make sure you get oil wiping out of so dragging will keep. It's not beautiful, this stuff. That's not my normal finish, but it takes more time than I would like for finishing, but you can see just a slightly toned down version, but still a nice contrast, and it's still really light wood. So when you compare this now, hopefully you can see this, it's way yellow this than this side, which is this. So okay, so now this can go on this bigger chuck, expand the jaws. And that's running nice and true. And now we can make the inside. I'll start here with the rim, but first I'm going to chew up the top here. Okay, and now we can focus on the rim here. Okay, so that's that side done. Can establish the width of the rim, and I think proportionally this should be somewhere there, something like this. And this doesn't have to be ultra thin, and this is, I think I'll leave it as it is, and I can smooth it out a little bit using a shear scraper just to see if everything is okay here, and it appears it is. So I'll continue on. I'm supporting the back of the plate platter with my left hand. So I need to drill out the section here. So now using square and scraper, I want to find the bottom of the hole. So that's the bottom of the hole. So now I have a vision where to go with all these cuts here. Let's make a rim here first. Okay, and just before I continue on, I just want to see here at this point. This is the furthest I can go in a chuck with the calipers, just to see how much thickness is here. That's 17 mil, so I have quite a bit of wood here, even beneath this point, I think. So I can project this curve slightly below this center line. Okay, so that's all of the waste here removed, and now I can just see the thickness here, and that is 10 mil here. So that's really good thickness. I have enough thickness here so I can shape this curve just a little bit better, just to see if this rim here, the detail, the shadow line is nice and clean, and it is. So I sharpened the gouge for the last pass here. And I'll stop here. This section is nicely done, and I'll use a shear scraper to finesse the bottom here. And you just get nice flowing curve. Okay, a little better. And now tilt it up on its side. Actually drop the rest down first. Tilt it up on its side to get a little smoother scrape here. And now again, sanding. I'll apply the oil, and I'll show you the final result. Now final buffing off, and at this stage also tone down a little bit of the contrast. If you don't want to tone it down, if you want bigger contrast, then just leave it for a day or two to dry out with the white pigment on, or any other pigment for that matter. Now while I'm at it, I'll just polish up again the back from the dust. And that should be it. Yeah, that looks really nice. And I'll just get it off the chuck so you can see it at a little better angle. Okay, and here it is. Hopefully you can see the reflection as well a little bit. It's not shiny, but at this light, under the lights, hopefully you can see the curves and everything flowing in nicely together, and the bottom here as well. Always make it nice and pretty. And that's one nice platter. So yeah, hopefully you like this. And again, I have to buy myself a little bit more pigments. I kind of like playing around with colors. This is something that I really like on ash, but on oak might be a little bit more dramatic. So that's maybe something for the next videos. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.